What is up and good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Marvel Rivals. Today we are going to do a quick guide of Scarlet Witch, or Wanda. We are going to go over all of her basic abilities as usual, and we are also going to go over some tips and tricks as we are going through the character, so that you guys have everything that you need to know to take this character into competitive play, into PvP play if that's something that's new for you, and understand exactly what this character is capable of. So, as you can see, we're going to start off in the center of my screen. So we do have these 4 charges that we will get to later. Just pay attention to those charges to some degree as we're going through, as we're talking about her left click and her right click. So I think we'll start off with her right click. It's this lobbed, pretty fast moving projectile sort of thing. It's not a lob, it's in a straight line. So it goes pretty much exactly where you want it. Yep, goes straight ahead like that. It does do more damage if you actually hit the target, but it does do splash damage as well. So you can see, did a little splash damage there, and that sort of thing. So very, very simple thing to use. Just use it, that sort of thing. The important part of her right click is that it actually is recharged by her left click. So her left click is this auto lock-on auto attack. So as you can see, I'm not clicking anywhere near this target, but it will pretty much auto lock on to the target, and as long as you hold it down, it will hit that same target. So if I'm like this, it will kind of smart switch between targets if you get a little bit too close to one or the other, but as long as you hold it down, you'll be damaging that target. As you can see, it's actually not very much damage though, so that is one of this character's kind of main flaws, is that if you're picking a 1v1 with someone and you're only using your left click, you will lose 100%. If they hit a couple shots, you're screwed. If they're playing Hella, you're dead before any of that actually really happens. So definitely make sure that you are using this as like a consistent damage tool, or using it from like a position of height or something like that where people don't exactly know where you are, because you're not going to be able to pick 1v1s, especially with like a Wolverine and Iron Fist, all that sort of stuff. Yes, it locks on. Yes, you can't miss, but it does not do nearly enough damage to 1v1 somebody. You definitely just want to be playing this character from like an opportunistic standpoint. The other thing to know about her left click is that, let's say, so I'm using these charges in the middle of my screen. As you can see, I've used 2. I have 2 more. So we'll use this one, this one. When you're left clicking, you build those charges a lot faster. So as you can see, I'm already back up to 4. But if I use all 4, you can see how slow that recharge is in the center of my screen. So you can see that I have 1 more charge on my right click, and then it takes an absolute eternity to get another one. So you definitely want to be using these, weaving in left clicks, charging those up, doing this, and you will get so much more damage out if you're recharging these as fast as possible. So definitely weave in your right clicks to your left clicks. Don't be that person that just sits here on Scarlet Witch and just does something like this, because you are doing hardly anything for your team. That's all very, very healable damage. You're pretty much not contributing anything. So definitely make sure you're using all of your abilities, weaving that damage in, getting direct hits with your right clicks, because then you can do a lot more damage that way. Her third ability is her left shift, so you'll go into this like ghost form. You can omni move, so you can move up, down, left, right, and you will get a little bit of height. If you come out of this form and you hold spacebar, you will float. You can also still use abilities when you're floating down, when you're in midair. You can, jump, you can right click, that sort of stuff. So you can use all your stuff while you're floating. But yeah, in this form, the main drawback is that you actually are in like a fully ghost form. The enemy would see like a little floating red ball flying around the screen, and you cannot be healed in this state. So that's kind of another thing why you don't want to pick 1v1s, especially with like mobile characters, because this isn't like a fast movement ability. Yes, you can move up and down and all that sort of thing, but you definitely don't want to pick a fight and then run away and come out of the invisibility or the invulnerability, and then someone's just followed you and you haven't been able to get healed during that state. So definitely use this to like reposition rather than run away from like a single target that you kind of just messed up and picked with somebody. So yeah, so use it to get some height on people, maybe, come in like this, assassinate somebody, start switching targets, rock and roll like that. So yes, like I said, you can't get healed. Your healers can see exactly where you are and where you're gonna show up, but if they hit you with any healing abilities, they will just pass right through you, because you are like invulnerable. You can't be damaged, you can't be healed, nothing like that, and you're semi-invisible, but there is that indicator. The last ability that we're going to go over is her E ability. So this ability is kind of not utilized in a lot of different ways. So as you can see, it's actually like a pretty straight line. I'm gonna actually turn off ability cooldowns here. So it goes pretty much in a straight line. It's not a lobbed projectile like most people think it is. But yeah, you throw it down and it will periodically stun targets. So in the area, I think it does 3 stuns total, but yeah, you can hit the target after a short delay. You can see this target is just getting stunned a few times. You can detonate it early too, so if you put it on the ground and you want to detonate it early and get those 3 stuns early, you definitely can do that. And it does have an AoE, but it's pretty small, so this is about the range that the targets need to be. It's a good disruption tool. You're not going to get any damage out of it, so it doesn't do any damage, but good way to just stun people briefly. You know, maybe even in that half second that they're stunned, they were trying to press a key ability, like Venom was trying to activate his E, and he suddenly couldn't. You get that other half second, and you're able to kill him before he shields himself. So definitely something that's good to know. You don't need to try and do anything crazy with this. Its primary use would probably be for something like this. If enemies are funneling through an area like this, you just put it there. It covers up the entire thing, and it will just periodically stun enemies that come through this. So definitely be sure that you're using that on cooldown if you see a good place for it. A lot of people are really frustrated with this character's ult because they think it's OP. It is effectively like a one-shot after, like, so if I activate it here, it's a pretty long charge up time, but it is like a one-shot. So it will mess you up if you get hit by this ult. The problem with it is, though, is you saw the charge up time. So if I activate it right now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, almost, I mean, 5 or so seconds that I am just charging this ultimate up, and you can take damage in that form, and you are a 250 health character. So this is like 2 hella headshots and you're done. It's over. So you definitely don't want to use this ultimate out in the open like I see a lot of people do. It does warn the enemy team. You do the voice line, you get this big indicator on your screen that says, hey, Scarlet Witch is over here and ulting. So not nearly as scary of an ult if you know that you just have to break a basically kill a 250 health target that can't do anything else while she's charging up her ult to stop the ult. So a lot of times, definitely in higher ranks, people will just turn and kill you as you're doing your ult. So you want to make sure that you are using this from a position where the enemy can't see you. You're trying to get those targets down there. You use it up here. You're charging it behind cover, and right before it goes off, you pop out, and suddenly you have only like a second or two to react to the ultimate. So definitely don't use this in people's faces. Make sure that you are in a place of cover or something like that. You can wait a long time. You can omni move with this, and then right before you go off, boom, then you can pop out of here. So, and like I said, you can omni movement during it. So you can go up, you can go down, you can go left, right. So not very quickly, but you definitely can. So that's Scarlet Witch. She doesn't really have a whole lot else that is going on. Pretty basic kit. Just make sure that you are using her in a little bit more of like a poke sense almost, to where you are picking fights when people are not looking at you, because you will typically lose 1v1s if the person's even remotely good at the game. And just use her E as disruption. Get some damage rocking and rolling. Make sure you're using your right clicks, consuming all those charges in the center of your screen, and building them back with your left click. Your ultimate can be really impactful. Just don't use it in people's faces because it's just a bad idea. You're going to get fried. So hope that was helpful for everybody. I hope you feel a little bit more confident on this character, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.